What's up, my channel? It's a friendly neighborhood sassy blonde writer coming at you with another accountability vlog. So as you can see, I have chopped off my long hair because it's approaching spring and slash summer now, so it was time. Let's talk about April. April was actually a really productive month for me. So I've been reading Gabrielle Union's memoirs. I started with We're Going to Need More Wine. I'm not gonna lie, I picked it literally because I liked the title. And then the way it was written, it was so, oh my god, it was so good. One of my favorite things to do would be to just put it on Audible, because Gabrielle Union reads the book to you on Audible and the audio book. I would just put on my headphones and then go for a nice little walk in the park, and it was so lovely. And then I started reading her other book, You Got Anything Stronger? That one definitely gets a lot more real. A lot of things. She's talking about parenthood. She's talking about dealing with trauma after kind of processing it all in the first book that she wrote. And it's so well written. I can't recommend these two books enough. They're just so good. Anyway, so I've been reading a lot of memoirs lately. I also just got another book I haven't started yet. It's called Please Don't Sit on My Bed with Your Outside Clothes, and I felt very seen and a little attacked by that. During April, I kind of started noodling around with other genres and wondering how you write a memoir, because I feel like a lot of authortube is very centered on writing fiction books, and then that's about it. Or at least that's what it's like if you're in a more traditional publishing space, whereas I've noticed a lot more of the indie authors on authortube kind of write whatever they feel like, which I think is really cool. And so one of the things I think I want to start doing is kind of exploring different genres of writing. Another thing I did was, I did a lot of writing this month, but not all of it was for my book. So one of the things I did, because I finally had a deadline, was I wrote a Jane Austen inspired story, and I'm gonna post the video for that, how I put it all together. I wrote it with my plants, and I go into more detail on how I did that in the video about it. Duh. So I did some writing for that in April, and I sent it in just at the deadline at the beginning of May, so that was super cool. It was a lot of fun because since it was a short story and I was writing in a more romantic comedy, historical fiction genre-ish type of thing, so because I was doing that, it was fun because I kind of got to play around with different genre tropes and different stereotypes and all that fun stuff, but I got to do it in a shorter way than I would if I decided to take a break from my current novel and write another one, because I was limited to only 2,000 words. That was the maximum, is 1,000 to 2,000 words. It was the competition was done by the Jane Austen Literacy Foundation, which, because I have a podcast about Jane Austen, I thought that was super cool, so I wanted to try it, and it was a lot of fun. And yeah, another thing I started doing more of this past month was I kind of got back into my regular routine before I did my little hiatus. One of the things I started doing more of, writing kind of wherever I felt inspiration strike. And because I was working on my short story, I felt like the gears were turning and I was in a writing headspace more. So that was really great, and I highly recommend it. If you ever find that you're stuck, write a little short story. Go find a prompt online, write a little short story or flash fiction. I honestly don't know anything about writing flash fiction, but I know how to write short stories. So that was super fun. It was great to kind of clear the pipes, try something new that I wasn't getting kind of bored with. So I highly recommend doing that if you're hitting a little funk. So another thing I started doing was on my commute, because I get to take the train to and from work, one thing I started doing was I was just writing. I use Google Keep, which is a little notes-taking app. And so I would write down little bits of a scene or the prompt I came up with for a chapter, and I would just start writing it out while I was on my phone, on the train, because I don't have anything better to do for 20 minutes. So then it ended up, because I was doing this in the morning and then doing it in the afternoon/evening when I was going home, so I ended up writing for 40 minutes every day, which was really good. If I'm being honest, I didn't keep this up as much as I probably could have, because some days I was just really tired from work, or some days I was just really tired in the morning and nothing was coming to me, but it was definitely really helpful. And then I would add everything I wrote for that scene into the Scrivener document. I also noticed, and this is something I picked up from when I was doing the book coaching, is the easiest way to make sure you don't lose motivation when you're writing is to figure out why you want to tell this story. And this is something that I didn't really hear or didn't really think about until I was doing my book coaching session, because that's one of the things you're asked in Blueprint for a Book by Jeannie Nash is, why do you want to read the story? Like, why is the story important to you? Which is different than why does your story matter, because it's asking you what is important about the story to you. Because the fact of the matter is, if you don't think your story is that important, you're not really going to be motivated to write it. And I think this was the most important thing for me to ask myself was, why do I want to write this story? And the reason why it's such an important question to ask yourself, and why I encourage you in the comments, tell me why you're writing your story. Because it's easy to write when you're excited about the idea, or it's brand new, or you're like inspiration strikes. It's super easy to bang out a couple of chapters or bang out a story that way. But you're really exhausted, or you're getting discouraged while you're writing your book, the why is what's going to keep you going and keep you motivated to finish the book. So for example, the novel I'm working on is about forgiveness. It's a journey of forgiveness and like learning to trust again. And that's something that throughout my adult life I have been struggling with. Learning how to trust somebody who you feel has betrayed your trust, or just learning how to forgive somebody by putting yourself in their shoes. Because the main character in my book, her life is turned upside down after somebody reveals something they were told in confidence, and the main character's life is turned upside down because of this mistake a friend made, and she goes on this journey so first she's dealing with all these trust issues that arise because of her past, and then this incident that occurs, and so she's dealing with that. She's a moment where she has to choose between forgiving her friend for making a mistake because like she would have done that in her shoes, or not forgiving the friend and kind of throwing away the friendship that was there before. And so this is something that I think, and the reason why I want to tell this story is because I don't think there are enough stories out there that are about forgiveness, especially forgiveness in a very complex situation. Like, it's easy to forgive somebody when it was just a mistake. It's easy to not forgive somebody of something when it was completely intentional. But here it's kind of this gray area. And so that's why I think my story is important, or at least that's why it's important to me. So why are you telling your story? Tell me about it in the comments below. So yeah, April was a pretty productive month. I think I finished, I also shuffled a lot of things around, which was really good. And I've been weaving exposition into more appropriate chapters than just kind of dropping it in all at once. No info dumping here. So that's really good. So yeah, April's been a really productive month, and I hope I get to keep up the good work. Right now, I'm not thinking so much after, kind of getting back into the writing habit throughout March and April. I think May and June, my focus is going to be on quality, not quantity. As great as it would be to just write for like 30 minutes straight every single day, I'd much rather get out like good quality stuff and stuff that I'd be able to say, yep, I would show that to an editor, rather than spend 30 minutes working on a hot pile of garbage. So, we'll tune in next time if you would like to see how that turns out. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos whenever I want, because I am working on getting back into things. If you're new here, please like this video if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos. I'm working on some really cool ones that I think you're going to enjoy. Some genre deep dives. So, stay tuned, folks. And don't forget, happy writing.